It was a rainy Tuesday morning when 6 men in Navy uniforms entered the quiet corner diner in Elmsworth. They didn't speak. They didn't sit. They simply stood at table 9, the table that had been empty for 3 days. And then one of them placed something on the worn wood, a small wooden box, a dog tag, and a folded letter with her name on it. Emily. Her knees buckled before she even opened it. Emily Callahan was never one to chase dreams. Life had chased too many of hers away. She worked the morning shift at Sal's Diner, a hole-in-the-wall breakfast joint just off the highway where truckers stopped and locals gossiped T.O. most. She was invisible, a blur of refilled coffee and polite smiles. But she noticed everything, especially him that he started coming in 3 years ago, always alone. Always silent. A gray beard, a military cap, and a stare that seemed lost somewhere decades back. He'd sit at table 9, order black coffee and eggs over easy, and never speak unless spoken to. She called him Mr. Charles after seeing the name etched faintly on his coffee thermos. He never confirmed it, never denied it, but over time, he left her tips folded into origami. A crane, a star, a dog that he'd nod when she brought his order without asking. And once, only once, he smiled when she added a blueberry muffin on the house. She didn't know his story, but she felt his silence like it had weight, like a man who had outlived something or someone he never forgave himself for. Other waitresses whispered behind his back, "Creepy old vet. He gives me the chills. Bet he's seen some dark stuff." Emily never joined in. She knew loneliness when she saw it, the kind that didn't just come from being alone, but from being forgotten. She'd tried, gently, to reach him. Asked where he was from, he'd respond with one-word answers. But every so often, she'd catch him glancing at her, as if weighing a truth he wasn't ready to share. Then one winter morning, he didn't show up. Or the day after. Or the week after that point. 3 years of quiet routine. Gone. She checked the obituaries. Nothing. No full name. No funeral notices. No goodbyes. Just a silence, deeper than before. Until today, the tallest of the 6 SEALs stepped forward. His eyes were glassy, but his posture unshakable. "You're Emily?" he asked, though he already knew. She nodded, heart pounding. He always said if something ever happened, this was meant for you. The box was worn, the letter sealed with red wax, and on the dog tag, C. Harlan. Devgroup. Her hand trembled as she held the tag. The man she served eggs and coffee had once been among the most elite soldiers in the world. And yet, no one ever knew. Why her? What could a quiet veteran possibly leave behind for her? She opened the letter. It was handwritten in careful, almost childlike script. "Emily, I was a broken man when I walked into that diner. I had done things for this country that I could never explain, and lost brothers I still see in my sleep. For years, I drifted like a ghost. Until I met you. You treated me like I wasn't invisible. You saw me, not just the uniform, not the past. I never had children, never married. But in those small moments, blueberry muffins, origami, a smile, I found peace. I kept a journal for the last 3 years. Everything I never said aloud is in that box. You brought warmth back into a soul that had gone cold. This is all I have left, and I want you to have it. Thank you for reminding me I was still human." Charles Harlan, Master Chief Petty Officer, retired. Inside the box were hundreds of pages, stories, memories, secrets. Tears fell freely as Emily turned. The first page. A soldier's life, written in silence, handed to a waitress who had once handed him a blueberry muffin without asking why. In the months that followed, Emily had the journal published. The Quiet Corner became a bestseller. A soldier's raw truth, seen through the eyes of the woman who simply listened. She spoke at veteran events, not as an expert, but as a witness to invisible wounds. The diner framed his dog tag above table 9. No one sat there anymore. It wasn't just a table. It was a memorial to silent battles and small kindnesses. The kind of heroism that doesn't ask to be seen. And in every page she read from the journal, she saw her name written between the lines, not out of romance, but respect, the rare kind. If this story moved something in you, don't let it stay silent. Share it. Someone out there needs to believe that small kindness still matters. Subscribe if you believe even the quietest people carry the loudest stories. And never forget, you never know what someone's been through but you always have the power to make them feel seen.